so far it has been very good. I will term it that way. And I'm beginning to love the work so much. I've said it time and over, that local governance system should be part of our core subject that we read in the schools, because that is the work of the government system. Being with the people, working for the people, being there for them, and knowing that they also appreciate what you are doing for them. That's all that we are here to serve them, and we are serving them better. I love the work because from where I'm coming from, I'm just finding tune with what I've done and then building on from where I am now. I was the immediate past MC for Aguna West.
Okay.
So it's a continuation of what I was doing. Okay. But I would say this one is a senior prefect.
I know.
Being an MC, being a regional minister, in fact, you look at it as almost the same thing. The roles are just like the same thing, but here you are not building anything, putting up any capital projects. You are doing more of monitoring, evaluating the various assemblies. But for the MCE, everything is on you. But here, a lot of coordination, delegating powers, and getting other people, meeting a lot of stakeholders. The engagement with stakeholders here, it's a bit on a larger scale, bigger. That platform is bigger than, and the invitation to programs and activities are much bigger than what we have in the assembly. Though we are doing the engagement, it also comes with the same thing that we have there at the assembly, where individuals will come to you, come and tell you their problems, and then you find solutions to the problems. And it makes me so happy when I'm able to solve those problems for them, and I'm able to, even if not solving them, a touch on their lives, and they can put up a smile. It gives me that confidence that yes, indeed, you are really serving the people and serving them well. So it has been one of the things that is pushing me to love the work I'm doing. Yes, thank you very much. I have started. And when I told you from where I'm coming from, that was where I started. And the results was amazing. I took office 2017 May in Aguna West as a municipal chief executive at a time that the municipal assembly had no community which you can say has a household, or the community itself having ODF, open defecation free. So it means everybody was just doing it anyhow. So I took it as a challenge, great one, and then brought everybody on board. You cannot do it all alone. So the environmental health officers, my coordinating director, a very wonderful gentleman, was always every time there for me, the assembly members, and we got the team together. And ironically, it's not that the people don't want to do, but sometimes the little thing to push in there to get the work done. So I took it as a war. I was just telling them, this one, we are waging war on open defecation. And we achieved results. At the time I was leaving office, we had 77 communities declared ODF. And I know there are other ones that need regional verification, for which we even hit more than 100. And we started. Thankfully, here will give me the platform to scale it up across the region. Because, like I said, a servant, a senior prefect. So you need to make sure the various assemblies are doing same. Something that I have done, I have the practical example, experience. So we are telling them that's the way we are going. So you need to do it. But we need to really put budgetary allocations to them. That is one thing that is missing. So if that thing is not there, then it means that the community members are not going to do it. So we are really going to push this thing very far. When I talk about the budget, not even the central government one, the local government one that they have been released to them to work with. You have common fund that will be given to you, for which you do your local budget to run the municipality. you should put some money at the sanitation bit of it to do it. Sanitation, we need to really look at that area very well. Yes, it's not even getting some of them confirmed, all of them confirmed, and it's a huge task because we're going to talk to people and we need to do this. We've already engaged a regional electoral commissioner who's also going to lead the process. Then from there, we'll get to the district's electoral commissioners. You saw that I was in the meeting with the leadership of the MMDCs that have been appointed already. Because I was coming from them, I knew my dean. Okay. So he came out with his secretary, some of the few of them who were supporting him to come and see me as to what they can do. This tells you that the leadership is there and we are ready to work. So I'm going to show that kind of leadership. Going to speak to the various stakeholders to get this thing done. We need to get them confirmed so that we can start the business of the assemblies. Yes, I need them because, like I said, I'm doing a lot of monitoring, evaluating what they are doing at the various assemblies. So if they are not there, what am I going to monitor? I am representing His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo in the region. They are also doing same at the various assemblies. So I must sit here and know what is happening in the various assemblies. So if they are there, it will give me that platform and the space to be able to do my work and do it very well. I cannot be sitting here and people will be walking out from Dunkwa Onofin to tell me they need a borehole. No, the stop should be at the assembly. The person should be able to discuss with the assembly member or the coordinator, whoever, and then to the chief executive, who I know is going to also respond to the need of the people. Perfect. These are the things that we are going to do. And we're going to have periodical meetings, we are going to set timelines for ourselves, we are going to set targets for ourselves, and we need to see to it that those things are achieved. It's not going to be business as usual on paper, just like that. We'll get them to do what we have set ourselves to achieve. And again, if those things are said, if you don't do it, then it means they will be doing it as and when they want. And we also have performance contracts that we sign with the local government service, head of, yes. So these things are there to direct what we do. Even in monitoring, we know exactly what we are going to monitor. And the local government, you know, MMDs, it's about the local governance, the people there that you are serving. So you need to be accessible. You need to go to the people. So we need to know what you are doing. How often do you even visit your communities? How do you engage the relevant stakeholders that we have? Like I'm serving here, you are also serving there. So your name should be a household one. Oh, if I need this, if I get to my chief executive, it should be addressed. It's not that they're going to do everything for you, but then they should be able to listen to you. We've started doing something and we've already started achieving results. We started with Budubram, where we engaged urban roads, highways, the assembly, the relevant stakeholders there. In fact, it was that we have a lot of access routes on the main road. So you see this car going here, some also parking on the road, the shoulders of the road, taking passengers, offloading, and all those indiscipline going on. Thankfully, the urban roads and the highways really use their drone to capture those difficult areas. So it gave us the problems for us to be able to solve. So we moved in. Some of the access roads were just closed for easy flow of the traffic. And then, if you can really look at Budubram carefully, the shoulders of the road has been expanded. So drivers are being cautioned that they don't be on the road and then be picking passengers and then be dropping them. They do so at the shoulders behind the shoulders of the road. The market women have also been asked to move back a little. So if we can really look at the place carefully, now Budumbram is better. Now the challenge is at Mankesim. Mankesim, it's also the same. If you are going and the traffic is very heavy, you might think that there's something happening ahead of you. You get there, there's nothing. It is because drivers want to use the road as a station. And I want us to see this as a discipline that is cropping up, and we need to curb it. We had a stakeholder engagement, I think 2 weeks ago, where urban roads engineers were there, highways, police commander, MTTD, the various transport unions, motor, all the relevant stakeholders were there, and then we put together some points that can help us to also find solutions to that problem that is cropping up in Mankesim. We came out with some roadmap which we gave out to our various media stations to at least tell the general public, especially those drivers who want to create double, triple lanes. They have been they create them and they use them. They want to stand anywhere, they want to park anywhere. And police commander also, in fact, promised to give us enough men. Sometimes when we even want to commit the offense, you see them, the men in uniform, and you be cautious not to do that. So we all did that together. I had the opportunity to also meet with the GPRTU leadership. They had their regional meeting where the national officers were there. So I spoke to them extensively for them to also support this we are doing. The market women, another problem. Sometimes when you want to really help the situation, and then they want to bring politics in. This is not about politics. I have been saying we need to address some of these concerns, devoid of partisan politics. Should anything happen, the car coming to destroy your wares and yourself doesn't know that you belong to the NDC or the MPP. So we need to also be careful of some of these things that we do. Thankfully, we also got the assembly, that's Fantiman Assembly, to also start the engagement of the relevant stakeholders. They also assured me, and it went very well. So the media houses have taken it. We want to really educate the public. We want to let them know that this is what we are coming to do. So you don't do it and they will come back demonstrating that they were not aware. Yes, so that engagement is going on. And very soon, you hear us in the news everywhere. That Mankesim free.
Traffic free.
Free. It's true. And the tourism minister has visited us on 2 occasions and really has indicated his willingness to support us, being the heartbeat of tourism in the country, the central region. And we have also gotten the road minister himself. We are concerned about our roads because, as I sit here as a minister, it's one of the things that caused us, if I say us, me and my party, so much. And thankfully, the President, His Excellency, is saying that we are in the 2nd year of roads, and the central region, we have already taken our part. The cake, though sharing, we've already taken our cake. Yeah, the size of the cake is being given to us. When the minister came, we came to visit one of the roads that's being constructed by these Chinese people at the Fosu Road. Kakum, the road was very bad. Now it is worked on. It's perfect. We have another diversion before you even get to Mankesim, and that one, when it's done, I know that traffic condition we have there is going to also be worked, going to go away. That traffic or the bypass is from Ekunfi, just after Ekunfi, then you come and hit at Manor Height. So those areas are being worked on. Other sites where it's about Commander, the castle area, some contractors have moved to sites. Initially when I came, that challenge was there, and we've gotten some of them coming back, and some of them too took the project, moved to sites, and then went back. Naturally, the time for you to finish your work has elapsed, and that you need to be terminated. So those termination has also been given out, and I know very soon new contractors will be engaged, and then the work will be done. Yes, since I became so interested because one of the things that I had in mind was to get the youth employment. And what are the youth asking for? To get a decent job to do. And one district, one factory came at a time that I'm also looking for jobs for my people. And if I tell you the number of people that have been engaged by this one district, one factory, you'll be amazed.
Oh, wow.
Oh yes. So when I came, my first interaction was to go and visit those factories and the defunct ones to see how best we can revive them. In Cape Coast, we have one Amin Sangari factory. They have the equipment, and the factory has been down for a very long time, and they need capital injection. They wrote to one district, one factory secretariat for some capital injection. I think they've advanced in the processes. I've also personally spoken with the minister in charge, Honorable Alan Kojo. We've been talking, and thankfully, he has assured me of that engagement. He's aware of it, which they've advanced in the processes that they are going through. When I went there, they told me even before the money will come, they have plantation of teak trees. If they get the Ministry of Energy to get them to supply, then they'll be able to have enough money to inject into the business to make it functional. So I took a letter from them and then sent to the ministry. The ministry, in fact, I also met with the minister. He told me, yes, he has seen the letter. They are working on it. And I know very soon they will be engaged. And they will be able to supply the ministry with the teak trees. The teak trees are the ones that we use in the electricity pole. Yes, so when they are able to do that, then we can get Amin Sangari also coming on board to employ most of the youth. We talk about Commander Sugar Factory. A lot has gone on. You know, the factory was not there. In terms of the building, it was there, but it was not running. Sugar was not coming out of the machines, you know. But I've also been talking to the minister. When I came, I went to the chiefs. I met with the leadership of the community, and Anu were there, and we all looked at the various ways that we can help. The minister told me there were some investors that they engaged, and that was when COVID came in, was delaying the process. Now, one district, one factory even want to also push in there to really get the factory running. So I know very soon, Commander Sugar Factory will be dancing the tunes, the good ones that the minister is also coming on board with. We have CNC. Center for National Culture recently also put together some entrepreneurship skills where the youth were also engaged in this bead making, braidal works, makeup and all of that. I was personally there, and they didn't even take anything from them, just registration fee of 50 cedis, and then they trained them. We trained almost 200 people, and this is what you really want to do. And I am going to seriously, where I'm coming from, like home economics background, you need to really use your hands, your hearts, your mind, and do something if you are not waiting for white collar job, so that you'll be very useful. So the assemblies are going to be tasked, so that together we'll be able to train a lot of young men and women in the region, so that they can really produce something and then earn something for themselves and their families. So we are going to do so much for, I want youth to be developed. Okay, I had my basic education at Swedro ADC. It's a Saito school. People don't want to go there, but that made me who I am now. And then from there, I went to Swedro Secondary School. I remember when I entered, most of the teachers were telling me, go and read science, go and... So everybody wanted to pick me out of the home economics class and then send me to the science class. So I got this mistress who came and said, no, tell them you like... And honestly, I love the subject. It's about human life, what you need to do. If you tell me, because you are reading home economics, come and buy container and put your sugar in, don't you know that you need to keep your sugar very well? This is about everyday life. So I was in the home econs class, and I had the opportunity to learn and learn very well. Everything was at our disposal. As for parents supporting you, that one, you will get it. They were there. And I went through the process. The system also treated me fairly. I had the opportunity to serve the school as a senior girls prefect then.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so that tells you that there's the need for you to really be an example in everything that you do. Doing sports alongside learning, and then your leadership role as the girls prefect tells you that you need to be an example to everybody.
So you were also into sports?
Very active sports prefect. I enjoyed in the training college. So from there, from the secondary school, I came to the Ola Training College, where I had my teacher certificate, set A. Like I told you, I was doing sports even in secondary school. Very active sports girl. So Ola Training College, I wasn't the school prefect though, but I got the sports prefect to really push me to where I belong. So I led the school team to various competitions where we won a lot of medals. So from Ola Training College, I was posted to Bojuasi Methodist JHS to start my teaching career. I taught there for, I think, 3 years. Then I met my husband there. We got married. Yes, I went to the University of Education, Winneba, for my first degree in home economics.
Oh, I see.
Yes. So I taught home economics there, and I had my internship training back in my alma mater, Swedo Secondary School, for 1 year. Then I went back to Bojuasi Obrachre Senior High School as a teacher from the University Fresh. So I taught there for a very long time. I rose through the ranks. I became the head of department. I was doing marking with the WAEC office, and I was everywhere, still doing sports with them. I was everywhere. And home economics is my passion, because that place is a community, so more or less. And some of the children have not even seen some of the things that we use in cooking. So at a time, I would have to carry some of the items from Swedro to Bojuasi or Brachre to teach them. Yes. And when it's time for funerals and other things, we find time to be in the community to also support, so that at least we'll serve as role models for the young ones that we're teaching them. And a lot of children, a lot of students were able to come out successfully. Some are nurses. I even understand that one of them is a lawyer. And I said, wow, then I've really done well. Yes. So from Obrachre, I was there 2016 alongside doing politics, because I was teaching in Obrachre and staying in Swedro. So I come to work, I go back to the house, and it's my politics I'm doing. So it never interfered in any of my teaching career. Yes. Thankfully, because we were coming from Swedro and then teaching at Obrachre, the timetable is done in such a way that at least we'll have a day to prepare your notes, the day to at least prepare yourself, because of the transportation aspect of it. So when we get that opportunity, even if it's a quarter of the day, I'll use it and use it very well. That was what I was doing behind the scenes, and then get my stuff done, and done also very well. So 2016, 2017, His Excellency Leonardo Dankwa Akufo-Addo found me worthy of coming to serve my people, and I was appointed the MC for Aguna West. And so I left Obrachre to come to Swedro to serve. But along the line, I had to do my second degree in home economics. So I went back to school, still at Obrachre. And then I did my second degree also in home economics, MPhil home economics. I think this one I'll give a big thumb up to my husband, a gentleman. He's so unique, eh? I don't know, but he's been the backbone, the support and everything. Normally we wouldn't get it that way. Men telling you go for meetings, do this, do that. But from day one, he was there to direct some of the things that I do. If it's meeting times and I feel lazy to even go, he will tell you, Roma, meeting time has to go. And he will make sure you go. And when you are going, we even tell you, when you go, speak. let them know you are there. He was so supportive. When I come and it is late, he can get something for you to tell you that rest, eat something. He's there. He's a gentleman. Let me put it that way. And I give it all to him. He will support you through and through. As for those comments, it comes to weaken you as a woman. A typical one I experienced myself. So when people talk about women in politics and what they go through, I had never experienced it myself until 2016 on a campaign trail at Odobin, Bedum. We're there, midnight, going to receive the vice president. Then, now, Mr. Vice President, Mamadou Baumia, doctor. It was around 11:30, 12 midnight. And a gentleman walked to me. He told me, I want to ask you something. And I said, okay. Madam, is your husband aware you are here? That was the question he asked me. In fact, I felt so insulted. But I had to put myself together and I put up a smile and to answer him. For him to know that I wasn't moved by what he was saying. So I said, oh, but I'm coming from the house. This should tell you that if I'm coming from the house, my husband is in the house, so he knows where I am at that moment. So he looked at me, he smiled, and said, I'm done with my question. Then he went away. So I just asked myself, there were so many people there. Men were there. Nobody asked the men, is your wife aware you are here? And he walked to me. He had the courage to come and do this to me. But I took it in good stride. It's something to ginger me on, to push me on, to also let me know that, hey, this is a terrain that is not too good for women. So you need to know what you want and then courage through. And today I am here.